The question you should be asking is, why is a delivery company called Federal Express? Why are they attaching cameras and basically providing live feed to local police departments? Quote, as part of our robust security programs, license plate readers are not only an effective visual deterrent, but the technology has allowed us to collaborate with law enforcement within the parameters of the law, a spokesman confirmed. Quote, the technology has been used in response to warrants and subpoenas, as well as in other scenarios regarding potential or ongoing crimes in the facility's premises, and it has supported the arrest and prosecution of those committing the crime. You know that sense of relief you get after taking the shit that brings a mild smile on your face? That's what technology in the 21st century is supposed to do. But to the contrary, technological luxury, when most of us interface with it, we don't really know much about it like we think we do. And when it relates to us in one way or the other, it occurs in a manner whereby we don't even know what's happening and what the detriments are until it really is too late. No different than a bunch of things inside the system that's supposed to come out, but it's just sitting there compounding and turning into something else. By the time you figure it out, you're going to have to either lose a vital organ of some sort that would affect your normal flow and way of life. In this case, the vital thing that will be lost if most aren't really prudent when it comes to technological luxury is the right to privacy. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Every now and then you would hear me speak about things relating to privacy, whether it be the fact that being chipped is not a circumstance where you line up and someone inserts something under your subcutaneous fat. Really, it's the chips you carry around to your phones, your laptop, the GPU, the MPUs, and the mesh networks of the applications designed as the mediums to send every information you have going on those things you carry around. And keyloggers that naturally comes by default into the phones, even if you use apps like Signal, Telegram, whatever it is you think you're using that might make you feel private. All that is irrelevant. In other cases, you hear me speak about things like IMSI catchers for SIM card and IMEI phones and things like that, and how triangulation with phone towers basically work and kills the concept of privacy based on the consent and the use of people. Participation. Simultaneously, the solutions are provided in these same videos for those who are willing to stop and actually listen, rather than accepting fear as the sole means or the sole message. Because when people hear information, they allow it to enslave them. No different than those who fight and struggle so much that it just becomes their identity. Generation after generation, fighting and struggling is the only thing they can identify with. I implore you to not strictly identify the fear involved in these things when it comes to privacy. The backbone of that Bill of Rights within the Constitution ratified 1791 on a federal level is really privacy as far as the people are concerned. On the Patreon page, we went over the fact that many governmental entities basically contract with corporations to, in short, alleviate the direct involvement with the violation of your sovereign immunity called the Bill of Rights. Which its backbone is privacy, and that's done through many means. Although there are many other res judicata that says that if some private corporation is playing the role of a governmental actor one way or the other through contract, you can also bring certain claims against them. That's another story for another day. This particular video is to let you know, besides your phone, besides your laptop, your good old delivery man and woman, good old delivery entity called FedEx is closer to you than you think. And the information being revealed here is a stepping stone to exactly how local and municipal employees and body politics are going to be able to access you through your activities that you engage in daily to further, for lack of a better term, monitor and be in control of how you spend and what your habits are. You see exactly why. The credit of this article goes to dailymail.co.uk, so you can find it out independent of this video. It goes on to say Jane Stanley, a policy analyst with ACLU, told the Virginia pilot, quote, "There is a simple principle that we've always held in this country, which is that the government does not get to watch everybody all the time, just in case somebody commits a crime." Right off the bat, you're seeing here the general excuse of, well, for the sake of everyone else, we're going to violate everyone. The everyone else is just some spurious, speculative, placeholder personhood that exists truly in the realm of tort, in the realm of fiction. Therefore, those we actually see that are non-fictional, those who are real, we are going to abrogate them based on a speculation. That's the reality of the reason behind how you, the everyday man's substantive rights, are basically abrogated. And people just go along with it through consent because they don't even know these things exist. What's the name of the entity? Flock Safety. That's what this private corporation is called. Isn't it interesting? They are referring to the everyday man as flock safety. Well, here there goes the assumption that they're trying to protect you. Therefore, they have to basically count all the hairs in your asshole. Flock Safety's cameras are used to track vehicles by their license plates, as well as the make, model, and color of their cars. Other identifying characteristics are also monitored, such as dents and even bumper stickers. Keep in mind, license plates have biometric data attached to it, minimally. First name, last name, date of birth, country of origin, height, eye color, hair color, weight, place of birth, and for most people, their current place of abode, where they lay their head. Just the license plate alone. See now the reason why there's a necessity for you to implement the use of trust when it comes to any property that is in plain view, based on the plain view doctrine, because there are scanning tools out here that can be used by both municipalities and other private actors at a state level, meaning the alphabet boys, to basically scan these license plates, or anyone can write it down, and if they have any connection with others, get them to run it and basically find out all your personal information. And this entity called Flock Safety has cameras that tracks the vehicle, that tracks these information of yours, generally presumed to be private, outside of so-called governmental actors. Usually, governmental actors like local municipal police are the ones that have access to such a thing, but not anymore. Private corporations do also. But how is the question? Well, here's how. The same article goes on to say the Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee confirmed its partnership with Flock in an email to Forbes. So now you see how private entities contract with so-called governmental actors. Quote, "We share reads from our Flock license plate readers with FeDex." So now you see a third entity involved. First, you have the governmental actors in your separate jurisdiction. If one sheriff's office is doing it, know for a fact that that's just one instance that's merely revealed for the sake of this article. And usually, the good thing with articles and information when it comes to what applies to everyone is they just give you a little nudge to let you know, hey there, this is happening. It might just be around your backyard. And that's really the reality. If it's happening with one, it's far more common. And you see. So now you have the entity Flock, who has copyright and trademark interests to the tools used for such surveillance. And then here you have FeDex. Those same man or woman driving those funny looking trucks that sometimes you see in action movies where they throw people behind it, body bags and things like that. Those funny looking vehicles, right? We share reads from our Flock license plate readers with FeDex in the same manner we shared the data This data they're referring to, make no mistake, are your private information. With our other law enforcement agencies, locally, regionally, and nationally. In other words, once that information goes in the hand of one entity, it's going across many, many more internally, administratively. And whose words are these? Public Information Officer from the Shelby County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee, John Morris. He also confirmed his department had access to FeDex flock feeds, live feeds. Its participation was unmasked after Forbes found the name of the force publicly available list of data sharing partners. Publicly available list of data sharing partners. Publicly available list of data sharing partners. Do you see the reason why I'm telling you to do the database injunction? See, this is what I foresaw when I introduced the database injunction. This is what I foresaw when I revealed the fact that, look, this is how you can put your vehicle in a trust and remain confidential in these videos. Many people who assert privacy goes by doing it a completely wrong way, which puts them in a category of a serf. But they're doing it voluntarily, no different than the average everyday man that don't know any better. But this time, they're voluntarily flagging themselves. That's where you see people put all those private now for commercial. There's a way you become private without doing all that trash. At the end of the day, 10 out of 10 people on social media dealing with all those private now for commercial license plate, you see them come back later now asking about, how do I deal with this ticket? How do I deal with this court case? Or you see the post completely silent, no one saying anything, because, well, the experience they had is exactly what the tortfeasors want them to be at. The reality is, you don't have to always stick out like a sore thumb. There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. The quicker you realize the right way to do it, the better it is for you. And videos are being made on this. It's not just merely being referred to. The function of how you do it are being shown to you. It's left up to you whether you want something that is new to you that would stray you away from what you've devoted so much time to in the past. To admit that your past lessons or things you've been taught are wrong. Admit that and actually make your life functionally better. Or just stay stuck being angry. Simply stay stuck being someone else's farming tool. Up to you. At least you can't say someone is not showing you and telling you the reason why, where the problem is coming from, what it interrelates with, and what the solution is. The article goes on to say its participation was unmasked after Forbes found the name of the force on publicly available list of data sharing partners. For those reading this who know about the database injunction, you know that this fixes the issue. Another video was uploaded as of recent that basically counters all this crap as a proof from my firsthand experience, along with others such as the Pittsburgh Police Department in Indiana, located just outside of Indianapolis. Now they're revealing to you more example, besides the self-confession from one of the employees of county sheriffs that they do share with many other entities. This article is now letting you know, look, other police departments have these means. Assistant Chief of Greenwood Police Department, Matthew Fillenworth, confirmed its force, also in Indiana, similarly participating. Memphis Police Department also stated it had received camera feeds from FeDex, but did not confirm if they were provided by Flock. Well, we know what entity does so initially, so whether they confirm it or not is irrelevant, because it's already been revealed as to what corporation has trademark interest to these things that FeDex uses. Now, the question you should be asking is, why is a delivery company called Federal Express, why are they attaching cameras and basically providing live feed to local police departments? That should be the red flag. But keep in mind, there is always some form of justification in the end of the tortfeasor. And as you hear the justification of the tortfeasor, compare it to your sovereign immunity within the Bill of Rights and ask, well, is that constitutional? And what does an attorney from American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, has to say? The scale of this kind of surveillance is just incredibly massive. He went on to describe the outlet how the warrantless monitoring of citizens en masse was, quote, quite horrifying. The article itself goes on to say there's no suggestion the partnership is illegal, but some critics suggest it's flawed in the basic tenets of the Constitution. The reason why this is even possible is because the everyday man, for one, don't even know about it. Because counterintelligence has been put into all these social media groups, whether you're using a phone app, whether you're using other online applications through your desktop or your phone, whether you're using other online applications through the World Wide Web like Facebook, Instagram, all that. 90% of the information that you think you're dealing with that's special has been placed in by those who want to distract you from realizing the basic simplicity of how contract law, trust law, and constitutional law works. You better get to it, because technological luxury that you have in your hand should favor you, not the other way around. And technology moves very, very fast. The article goes on to say the company shared data garnered from flock camera with the Northern California Regional Intelligence Center, an intelligence hub that provides support to local and federal police investigations involving major crime across California West Coast. So at California, this is their justification. Hey, look, there's usually a crime going on in this area. We'll just monitor everyone. It's all right. Now, this is besides the fact that there are tools that can penetrate through walls that your local municipalities use and do have, just so you know. Another video will be made on that. Keep in mind, all these quote-unquote surveillance are in a public area now. Now, the issue of curfew and playing field and curtilages when it comes to property is another thing. If any of those curtilages and private properties or any other things attached to your private property is being surveilled, then there is something called reasonable expectation of privacy. But generally speaking, this surveillance being mentioned in this video is, as far as they're revealing, is still in a public space. You can't trespass someone's eyesight. Men arrested should have caught on that. The article goes on to say, quote, as part of our robust security programs, license plate readers are not only an effective visual deterrent, but the technology has allowed us to collaborate with law enforcement within the parameters of the law, a spokesman confirmed. Quote, the technology has been used in response to warrants and subpoenas, as well as in other scenarios regarding potential or ongoing crimes in the facility's premises, and it has supported the arrest and prosecution of those committing the crime. So that's their justification for this surveillance, that most people don't even know what's going on. Besides the fact that they're using Zoom cameras, when you walk around most houses these days, they're using Zoom cameras. Most of those people that voluntarily install those Zoom cameras, those Ring cameras, they don't realize that there's a database that's recording live feed of those things and going somewhere and being stored. And the issue of some type of database running out of memory is not the case anymore in the 21st century, particularly 2024. And think about it. Just 15 years ago, there were still some issues of storage capacity. Not anymore in 2024. 600 terabyte is nothing, especially when it comes to governmental actors that have the funding from leftover taxes of people that they turn into grants to obtain these technologies. That once they're light years ahead, now they basically rent it out to the public to use under certain conditions, like the microwave, like the internet, Ethernet, Nelnet, your phone, all that, right? And the price you pay for that convenience of using that technological luxury, freedom. The article goes on to say, meanwhile, police forces around the world over the past few years continue to pick up Flock as a partner, with more than 1,800 law enforcement agencies taking part. Over more than 3,000 American communities use Flock technology, only 10 years since the startup surfaced in 2014. So, pretty successful business. The firm today is valued at nearly $4 billion and continues to receive a steady stream of venture capital. Successful business. At what cost? Your freedom. In 2022, it raised an astounding $300 million in just 7 months, followed by $38 million in Series B funding in February the following year. It uses real-time data. Now, this is how FeDex assists this company called Flock, to which the information is rendered to your local municipalities. This is justification. It uses real-time data to, quote, enable and incentivize safer driving. That's the justification on FedEx end. So you see all the different justification being provided to you. These are stepping stones. So stuff you see in all these, movies, Hollywood, that seems a bit fictional. It is entertaining, but the applicability of that is far more closer to you than you think, and it's less entertaining. Because even if you think you're old and you're about to just check out of this earth, if you don't do something about it now, your children will suffer for it. Heck, you already are suffering for it now. You just don't realize it yet. You just don't realize it yet. You just don't realize it yet. Gas prices going up, interest rates going up, cost of food going up, rent going up. There'll be a point where that will be the least of most people's problems in North America, land of the free. Till next time, take care. Best of luck.